We just picked up 100,000 bulk Magic the Gathering cards. But that's not all. Let's start off this video with a little walkthrough of how I got them, where I got them, and a little POV. I'll see you guys in a minute.
Yeah, let me go open all the drawers. This is so much faster.
Yeah, the mana box.
Yeah.
Can we turn a light on?
Yeah. Dude.
This is like a once in a lifetime view. Wham! Holy guacamole.
A little too much, to be honest.
What I'm thinking is like, these can come out,
They're
right?
taking sections. So if you want, you can take a couple sections.
I think what happens is we just take these out one by one, and then I might be able to fit this in my car. So we just did our largest pickup. We got 3 binders. My man was letting go of the whole collection, mostly rares and mythic. We got like a few thousand odd, also rares and mythic. That you can see here. We got the deck boxes. Deck boxes can't be sold on TCGPlayer, but we pretty much just bought blind off of trust and faith. Like, I trust bro. I know what he's got. He's got good stuff. Yeah, it looks fun. Welcome back. All right. So this is them right here. This thing weighed like 500 pounds. We had to walk up like 20 stairs to get here. It took us almost 20 minutes just to get it up 20 stairs. I'm talking like with the drawers out, it was insane. This is a tab production filing cabinet, usually used for carpentry or contracting or some sort of workshop. And it has been accessorized for Magic. Crazy, right? Let's get a zoom in. All you see right here, these are all Magic the Gathering cards. Each one of these is probably about 5,000, and there's 20 drawers. So we got about 100,000 cards. The top 2, everything in a sleeve, those are rares and mythics. If I just pull out a few of them here, let's take a peek. We got, let's see, Liesa, Shroud of Dusk, a lot of commanders. What is that? Tovalar. What else? Hostile Takeover. It was just like 100,000 cards in general. 1,500 to 2,000 rares and mythic. The rest was just bulk. I'm stoked. In addition to the cards, we also got some deck boxes. I don't have a lot of deck boxes, but my guy was getting rid of the whole collection. So when he threw in the cards, he was like, I got deck boxes, I've got sleeves, I got binders. We got about 2,000 or 3,000 Dragon Shields of various colors. And then we got like 5 or 6 deck boxes. The deck boxes are somewhat collectible. This is a couple of them right here. If you've ever heard of Senpai Goddess, I'll show you what they look like. Pretty anime ladies. They cover a 100-card deck. They have compartments for dice. You'll see them in games like Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Union Arena, One Piece. Basically, he was getting rid of the whole collection. It was like, yo, I gotta get this gone. Honestly, this deal is what convinced me to start selling on TCGPlayer. I was looking for like maybe 500 cards. You know, I was like, look, I'll buy some of your rares and mythics. I can build decks with them. And he was like, why don't you just buy everything? Like, I want it gone. If it's not to you, it's to someone else, but I prefer to do it to you because we know each other, blah, blah, blah. But like, I've never sold cards online before. I've done, you know, little sales here and there, but never really dived in, you know what I mean? And he was like, just get on TCGPlayer. And I started thinking about it. You know, I've always been passionate about cards. I've always wanted to build a business online and do that sort of thing. And I was like, let's do it. Like, what are you supposed to do with 100,000 cards? You're either playing the game aggressively, building thousands of decks, which is coming, or you're selling them online. And my goal, honestly, I'm a huge hoarder. I'm a huge collector. I do want to do vending. I do want to do selling, but I noticed a gap online. There's not a lot of bulk cards for sale. Sometimes people need that one-off card, that 25-cent card to just finish their deck. I was like, okay, if I buy all of these, first off, I need some deck boxes for myself. I've always wanted to try and sell things outside of cards, so this is a good avenue for that. If I wanted to sell binders, play mats, deck boxes, anything trading card related, I can keep the expensive cards. So if I find like a $50 or $60 card, I can keep that, put it in a vendor booth for like a really nice showcase if I want people want to see something, and just sell the rest. And this is something that could snowball into a business model of selling anything. If I went to a Goodwill and wanted to resell clothes or, you know, things that I'm knowledgeable about. Obviously, cards is number one. Like, I know so much about cards, it's sickening, but clothes, records, soda. I'm actually pretty knowledgeable about soda. Just anything collectible, you know? My dad used to collect coins, he used to collect stamps. Maybe I started diving into that market, but just learning how to sell stuff online, e-commerce. You know, I worked in e-commerce for a long time. I still do it, but I've never actually owned any of it, you know? Like, I've never owned the business. And I think that's really strong. All things considered, I had this opportunity in front of me, and my guy was like, if you don't buy it, someone will. And I was like, give it to me. So yeah, we are now stuck with 100,000 cards, and we really don't have an option other than to sell it. I have to get my recoup. You got to get it back. If you watch my last video, you know where we're sitting at progressive wise, net wise. Things are definitely moving in a positive direction. I've already learned so much. I think it was the right play at this point. I understand the game. I understand how to sell them. And I understand how to do it right. I don't know how I'm going to go through all these. A bonus part is that they're already pretty much organized. So for example, this is titled, you can see it's like blue and holographic, but look, these are already all organized by alphabet and all that good stuff. You pay a premium for that. So that was sort of like a homie hookup for my guy. If we look in these should all be blue cards. And look at that. Most of them are foil anyway. So right on the money with like how the set's organized, how everything looks. Grab more cards. Yeah, these are all foils. Most of the organization has already been done. All I have to do is go through them and see what we're keeping and what we're selling. Pretty freaking awesome. There's a lot of freaking lands in here. I've told you guys before, don't sleep on lands. I saw that as an opportunity. These foil lands, I've already made a little section for TCGPlayer. All of these cards are what are currently listed on TCGPlayer. But if we go to swamps, just for example, because I just did a few of these. So these swamps right here, these guys, if they're foiled out, they're like 3 a piece. Mark it. Look how many we got. Wow. So there's a lot of cool stuff in here that not a lot of people would look at. I think if someone saw a hollow land, they might just be like, oh, that's a land. I don't know. I'm good. Whatever, you know? I see it and I see an opportunity. Everyone needs lands, right? I'm also a huge player in this game. So most of this is Magic. Actually, all of it is Magic, but we're still buying other cards. We're still buying other collections. I just picked up a big Pokemon set, which, you know, I buy, sell, and trade a lot of. So I'm pretty knowledgeable in that field, but there's a lot of lands in here. There's a lot of enchantments, a lot of artifacts, but like low grades, pretty much like essentials for gaming. Arcane signets, soul rings, no mana vaults. You get what I'm saying. I did just do a little pull from it. Like we got some vintage in here too. That's pretty cool. Even if I'm not selling these online, which I probably won't do for all the vintage cards, but this is a really cool showcase. So now I can give an option to people. Like I'm not just selling Illustrator Pikachus, or I'm not just selling ponchos. You know, I have something for everyone, especially if you play Magic. That started all of this, was this sale right here. This bad boy. If I make this purchase, I'm in. I'm in totally, because there's no way out. It doesn't make sense for a player to have 100,000 bulk cards. You're either a store owner, a shop seller, or something. Deck boxes, play mats, it was just too good to refuse. These sort of deals come around once in a lifetime. If you ask, was it worth it? How long is it going to take to sell these? We've already made about $800 from selling these. If I just go through a random stack here, let's see. Let's go down here. Let's see what we got. I'll go to the D's. I'll just grab 3 random cards. Disfigure, Death Priest of Miracle, which by the way, there's 3 copies of. And let's grab one more. Let's grab a different stack. Let's see what we got. And a Reckless Velocitor. So we got 3 cards. Let's pretend someone just made this purchase. Let's see what these are doing on the market. So Disfigure, we played 40 cents. Most of these cards are near mint. Oof. 1 cent plus $5 shipping. So we'll put it at 20 cents. 20 cents plus Death Priest. Let's see what Death Priest is doing. Death Priest of Miracle. 40 cents. I'd probably put this at 20 cents. Yep. Lightly Plays are selling for 5. This is near mint. I guess it's selling at 10 cents. So total 30 cents. And then a Reckless Velocitor. Reckless Velocitor. Let's see what that's doing. Hopefully this one's juicy. 3 cents. Near mints are selling for a penny plus $5 shipping. So altogether, these 3 cards would probably sell for about 50 cents. Mind you, if you pay less than $5, you are paying $1.30 in shipping. I pay about 80 cents for shipping and I'm making 50 cents off the cards. So after everything, TCGPlayer fees and all, I'm probably taking home about 90 cents, maybe $1. How long will it take me to pack these? 5 minutes. Would you spend 5 minutes for $1? Would you take 5 minutes of your time for $1? Someone say yes, someone say no. I say yes. Most of my orders are a mix. After we set our threshold of shipping, $5 and up is free, and anyone who pays below that pays $1.30. Most people get over that $5 hump. Let's try this again with a normal order. What I normally see online is someone getting a couple randoms. So let's grab this card, let's grab this card, and then there's always like a chase. There's always like a main hitter. You know what I mean? Couple bulk cards, and then normally like a mythic or a rare. So just like anything and everything. Boom, boom. Cool. So this is like, I'm just grabbing random cards, but this would be like a typical order. So we have Oath of a Johnny, Teamer Battle Crier, Smother, and Furnace Celebration. I want to see what these would total for. This is just a random 4 cards I grabbed out of here. So Teamer, Battle Crier, near mint, selling for about 41 cents. Okay, 50 cents. I'd probably put it at 50 cents. Oath of a Johnny. Oh, wow. Which one is this? Aether Revolt? Yeah. Let's see if we find any near mints. Selling for 25 cents. So we're at 75 cents right now. Furnace Celebration. Look at that. A penny. C13. This is the wrong one. Guy right here. Near mint is 40 cents. Free shipping on orders over 50. God damn, bro. Near mint, a penny. So we're at 76 cents. And then our last one is Smother. Smother World Wake right here. Near mints are selling for 23 cents. So about $1. That's pretty typical for a TCG player from what I've experienced. Pack all these up. They pay $1.30 in shipping. Take home cost for them is about $2.50. TCG players gonna take about 18%. Shipping is for me about 80 cents. So that's $1.60, about $1.50. So we make $1.50 here. Boom. And then we do 30 of these in an hour. This times 30 is the amount of orders that we're getting on average, which comes out to about $45 an hour minus materials and goods and things like that. It can range, but I think after all is said and done, probably making like 30 bucks an hour, 25 an hour if no one refunds, which has happened a few times. I just had to refund a $20 order because someone claimed they didn't receive it. Who knows? Blocked. Refund. Blocked. There's just so much we can do with this. I also think I have an edge because it is Magic, and Magic is a player's game. Like if these were Pokemon cards, it'd be a totally different thing because Pokemon cycles out every few years. It's very similar to Standard or Modern, where after a certain condition is met or a year is met, you can't play those cards anymore. Magic in Commander, you can play everything since the 90s. So everyone's always looking for optimization or that weird niche card, and it can just boom in price. We've seen it before happen when Nadu came and the card Shuko got really expensive. Same thing. So that's definitely an edge for me, and one of the main reasons why I think investing in this is a good idea. If it was Pokemon cards, I probably wouldn't be saying the same thing unless I wanted to go to eBay and make like mystery packs and stuff like that. I think I do want to do that, but that's sort of later down the line. But we got Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, Pokemon, sold all the One Piece, don't have any of that. I want some more. It's just really cool. And also it's good for deck building. I do have some ambitious ideas of shooting like a Commander at Home event with my girlfriend and some of my friends where we can build decks with these cards. If any of my friends ever need help building a deck, oh, call Nick. He's got you. He's got it. I think I went really wide. A wise man told me, he said, you're going really wide getting 100,000 bulk cards. But so far from the traffic I'm seeing on TCGPlayer, they sell. Like people buy these bulk cards. It does get a little tedious, I will say. Like I would much prefer for me to be selling like one $10 card, one $20 card versus like 52-cent cards, because then I'm just getting eaten and shipping. There's a good amount of orders where I pretty much break even only because they order so many small cards and USPS can't handle them. But there's protocol and procedure to that. So we use windowed envelopes versus the little envelopes. I have my dream customer. They have their dream seller. Happy medium. I can't meet everyone's expectations and they can't meet mine. I'm just happy to be selling. I think the sleeves are a huge bonus. I remember he made that a huge selling point. He's like, yeah, and there's so many dragon shields. Like there's like hundreds of dollars in dragon shields, but they're like rainbow. I play Commander. I don't really play Standard. I could, but I'd have to like sift and find like 60 peach sleeves if I wanted to use these for any sort of gamification. But I get to tag them in my TCG player orders, and they're just like a little step up from getting a normal penny sleeve. You know, it's like, oh, he serves dragon shields. Pretty cool. So yeah, I think that's where I'll be using most of those. It is kind of exhausting, I gotta say, scanning all of these cards. Like I haven't even touched the surface of this. It's crazy. Like I spent probably 3 hours scanning 1,000 cards, and TCGPlayer scanning app is not the best. It keeps wanting to label everything pre-release and, you know, near mint when there might be a damaged card or a wrong set or something. And I'm human, so when I scan 1,000 cards, 5 or 10 might get mislabeled. I'll upload them, someone buys them, I gotta refund them and be like, hey man, this pre-release stamp card is not 10 cents. Sorry, that's a normal card. That's happened a couple of times. But I think just in batches and waves, as long as I keep doing what I'm doing, as long as I'm, you know, upping the mark, making sure everyone's happy, and I'm always adding new inventory, I think we're good. I've also noticed when I upload new batches of cards, there's a typical surge in sales. I don't know if that's someone with like a notice or maybe TCGPlayer pushes sellers that upload new product, but every time I add new listings, fresh sales come in. It's interesting. So yeah, constantly uploading is like a goal of mine. And I think with this, we're good for like 6 months. And these are just like small movers. You know, this is my, what do they call it? Base. This is my base. I think if you are thinking about getting into this game or thinking about sourcing cards or where to buy them, first off, I would use your network. So if you are in the card community, or maybe you're in a couple of Facebook groups, something like that, I encourage you to post on social media. If you do want to source cards, you are going to have to be somewhat of a socialite. It's easier for people to come to you than for you to go to them. So if you're constantly posting, hey, I'm buying, what you got, it's a lot easier than if you're just reaching out to Facebook Marketplace and eBay and Amazon or whatever. Because I don't know, I've had some bad run-ins with Facebook Marketplace. I'm not saying they're all bad, but I remember on one occasion, this guy said, hey, I'll sell you these 20 cards for $100. I said, great. I show up. There's 19 cards with one of the notable ones missing. And I said, hey, where's this card? They're like, oh, it's gone or something. And I'm like, okay, well, we agreed on $100. He's like, yeah, but you're still getting a good deal and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I'm good, bro. Like, just wasted gas, drove across the city for, a scam. I also wouldn't be afraid to buy from vendors. Don't be afraid to buy from vendors. Don't be afraid to buy from LGSs or anything like that. You can always ask them. If you want bulk, they'll probably sell it to you. If you want like hits, it's a long-term hold because they're doing the same thing you're doing. If you're going there expecting to sell it online for double or whatever the next day, goodbye, adios. That's not happening. But most of my investments went up like 700%, 800% in a matter of like 3 or 4 years because I bought them prior to the boom, the second boom, I should say. Yeah, we're sitting pretty. Obviously, I want to sit prettier. And honestly, I was just looking at Pokemon, but I've looked at a lot of Magic stock recently, and some of the news articles and some of the hype around Spider-Man, Lord of the Rings, Final Fantasy has really supported a lot of the growth that we've seen for MTG in the recent years. So plus they just got sued, from what I understand. Wizards of the Coast got sued that they're overprinting their cards, decreasing their value. I think they just want a piece of what Pokemon's doing. I'm a big fan of long-term hold, something that you're passionate about. It doesn't have to be cards. Buy it, hold it, because someone's going to want it in 5 years. It could be couch cushions. I'm just looking around. It could be headphones, anything. Get your feet wet. Try it. If you're going to invest in this, know it's a long-term game. If you want to see a measurable difference, I wouldn't be afraid to buy from vendors, buy from sellers, buy from this, buy from that. Like, just know what you're getting into. And also, a wise piece of advice that a friend told me, when you make a purchase, if you're a seller, if you're a collector, totally different. I'm both. When you buy, let's say you have $1,000. If you buy one card for $1,000, you're in for one card. But if you buy 20 cards for $1,000, that's 20 opportunities of growth. So that's why I'm down with this. You know what I mean? Like, I would much rather buy this than one Elven Soul Ring, even though I really want an Elven Soul Ring. If you have one, please hit me up. So much opportunity. I haven't gone through even the first layer of this. And I don't know if there's a hidden gem or anything like that, like buying blind. But just due to the sheer volume, the deck boxes, the play mats, like all of that, I had to do it. So my suggestion for anyone starting out, do it. If you're a degenerate like me and you open packs, it's hard for me to keep stuff sealed. I have a seal collection, but I'm one to always indulge in that. You probably got extra bulk cards, or you probably got something sitting around. I think I made this in my first video, but post it, sell it, trade it. That's what the hobby's about. It's all about buying, selling, and trading. It's a trading card game. It's a TCG for a reason. That's the whole definition. Trade something you like for something you like more. And if you don't like it anymore, sell it, trade it, whatever. Am I a scalper? I think it's sort of a loaded question. I'd say no, for 2 reasons. First off, give you a great example. I was at one of the Pokemon vending machines, loaded. I bought about 5 items. I didn't select other items because there was someone behind me. And I asked them, I said, hey, do you guys want any of this? And they said, yes. I said, okay, I'm going to leave you some. Boom. I got what I wanted and I left. I'm never one to indulge in greed to the point where I'm going to, take something from someone else in that regard. The second is I'm a long-term holder. So if I can make a quick flip, I will. But most of the times I'm totally comfortable purchasing something and waiting for a year, 2 years, something like that. You look back at any Pokemon stock to date. It could be Steam Siege, Evolving Skies, freaking Strixhaven. It doesn't matter. Mostly Pokemon. They all grow. They always all grow. Some higher than others, but it's rare for a set to release 6 months, plateau, and then just crash. That doesn't really happen because just like any other collectible, it's always a finite resource. Once the product stops getting made, desirability goes up. Just think of that. I don't ever think there's a set that you could make a bad investment on. Perfect Order just released and everyone's like, oh, this set is trash. I will bet money. It is March 29th, 2026. I will bet money that by this date next year, it'll be worth more than it is right now. I don't know how much. If I had to guess, I'd say 15%. I'm going to guess 15%, right? So you could 3x the NASDAQ off of just the worst set to come out in 2026. Cards are where it's at, man. So what's next for me? I've gone wide. Now it's time to go deep. Now it's time to go high. I'm looking for bigger cards. I'm looking for higher grade slabs. I'm looking for anything over like $10. It's kind of a grind, but no more buying 100,000 for a good deal. I'm going to have to buy like 100 for a good deal, you know? All art rares, all SARs, mythics, like hitters. And then I got to get that show back. Last time we met, I was talking that I wanted to get into a show, didn't have the funds or the plug to get into what is the show space. We've got summer coming up. Really want to do it. I didn't know that there was a wait list on these tables. Did you know that? If you miss the wait list or you're not in the know with whoever's running the event, you're cooked. Goodbye. You could pay triple, quadruple the price of what it is normally to get a table just to play the game. I don't know. See if there's a friend that'll let me buy a booth off of him or something and go from there. We'll definitely be I'm going to film my first booth. Do a little vendor POV, you know. This thing takes up a lot of space. We got our new storage unit. It's sitting right next to me. Let me know in the comments what you think. Is this a wise purchase? Should I have done this? Should I have not done this? Is this something you would do? Or what should I do with these cards? Should I make mystery packs? Go on eBay? I got ideas spinning, but that's all I got for you guys today. So let me know what you think and stay tuned for the next video. Peace, y'all.